Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. The Lions failed for it on 2 fourth downs, the second attempt of the half, including passing up a field goal attempt that would have tied the game at 27. That's the one I don't get. Tie the ball game up. Why would you? Because here's the thing. You see, some things that make us great also is our biggest flaw. Because Dan Campbell, we give him so much credit when he goes for it on first down and they work out. On fourth down and they work out. In that situation, I'm not so sure. I don't take the field goal. Yeah,
the points.
I take the field goal in that situation.
But
because if I take the field goal, now it's a tie ball game. Now if I come down and go back the other way and they 49ers did, they scored. So now it's a 10-point ball game instead of a 7-point ball game. Now all of a sudden the Lions go down and do what they do. Now we got a tie ball game. I'm gonna put the pressure. Okay, Brady, Purdy, ball back in your court. What you gonna do?
Back in, that's funny. But what we all are is we're a creature of habit. And a leopard or a zebra, he doesn't change his stripes and he doesn't change his spots based on circumstance or situation. So what we saw from Coach is what we've seen from him the entirety of the season.
Yes, big go.
And he coached the same way, and he made the same play calls that he would as if it was a regular season game, because he always bet and put house money on his players to come through on those 4 downs.
Actually, I think
he just didn't get him this time.
Buffalo was down 35. Was it 35-3? And they ended up winning 41-35 in overtime. I think they ended up winning 41-35. I think Buffalo was down 35-3. And they ended up coming back 32 points. That was the most a team had come from behind and ended up winning the ball game. And as a matter of fact, that wasn't Jim Kelly that orchestrated that. That was Frank Reich. They was down Frank Reich. Okay. He also at one time he had the biggest college come from behind when he was at Maryland, and they came back from like 30-something points down and beat the U. So
the U.
He beat the UU back when they had them dogs. He came from back. I think he was down 31 in that situation and came back and beat them in that ball game. But as you mentioned, man, this call won't leave me, guys. The Lions failed on 2 fourth downs. They passed up a field goal that would have tied the game, and Gibbs, the rookie, who played outstanding all season. He's been great in the postseason, but had two big had touchdown run, had big runs, fumble the ball.
Yeah.
And you know, when you turn the ball over, you pay double. They're gonna make you pay double because now all of a sudden
he played good.
They sense blood in the water. They just got points, Ocho. They just got points.
Yeah.
They kick the ball off to you. You spot the ball, and guess what? You run one play, and their offense is back on the field. So now you've allowed them to get into a rhythm, and we're going to talk about this, something that Kansas City never allowed Baltimore to do, which was getting to a rhythm. Yeah. So Lamar and that running game could set up the passing game. And so right now, it was Jaquiski Tart. Tart was his last name to drop that easy interception. Stafford hit him right between his numbers. I think he's number 7 too. He hit him right between the numbers and he dropped it. If he catches that ball, they're going to the Super Bowl. And it didn't happen.
Right.
We have a poll up, most to blame for the Lions' loss. 22,000 votes said Dan Campbell. Jared gets 74% of the blame. Jared Goff gets 8% of the blame. Jahmyr Gibbs gets 5% of the blame. And Reynolds gets 14% of the blame.
Reynolds?
Those drops.
Oh, them two drops. Them drops was important.
Goff was not as hot.
Them drops was real important.
Of course. They get magnified because one was on 4th down, the other was on 3rd down. So they're magnified for the simple point of what down they happen on. If he drops either one of those passes on 1st to 2nd down, ain't nobody blinking an eye.
You're saying nothing.
One was on 4th down to keep the drive alive. The other was on 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Now all of a sudden, we potentially you robbed us of getting points. That's how fans are looking at it. You robbed us of an opportunity to go down the field and get points, field goal or either a touchdown. And so Jared Goff was not nearly as accurate in the second half as he was the first half because he was doing a number.
First half, Hey, first half he was surgical.
Yes.
First half, that young fella was surgical, and I think he was surgical simply because the running game was operating so well, everything was working, so it made the pass game that much easier, and everybody was open because everything was working because of the play action, the run, the not RPO, the goddamn
that play action. Because Ocho, when you're running the ball like that, safety gonna start cheating down. He gonna start cheating because you got to get that eighth man because you can't stop him with 7.
Right.
And so give them credit. It's tough for the Lions because they look at a situation, Ocho. It's been such a long time since they had been this far, won a playoff game. They were in the playoffs, hadn't won a playoff game since 91. Here they win 2 playoff games. They're up 17 on the road in the NFC Championship with an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. This hurts. Now, if you get blown out, you're like, oh man, we got blown out. The better team won. But you're up 17. That's what the fans. That's what they see. We're up 17, and how after we're playing so well, had played so well up until that point. Where did we go wrong? How did it all go wrong? What could we have done differently? What should we have done differently? You always said you're left. Hindsight is a magnificent science of questioning myself. Right. What should I? What could I? Then what would the result have been had I done this? I'm sure Dan Campbell is going to replay it in his mind also, Ocho. Should I have taken the points? Could I? I'd be interested to somebody jump in the chat and see. He said if he had to do all over again, I would do the exact same thing. That's who we are. I trust those guys on the field. Go ahead.
I mean, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about believing in your players, making those calls you made during the regular season, and believing in them to make those plays at the right time, even in the NFC Championship game. It didn't work out in their favor. But when I look at it, even as Lions fans and Dan Campbell and players that are part of the Lions organization, now you've gotten a taste of it. Now you know what it's like. Now you know what it takes to get to the postseason, and now you know what things you need to do to fix to get further. As hard as it is to even get there, it's hard to get there.
Ain't no guarantee you coming back, Ocho.
It's very there. Ain't no. Yeah, you're right. You're right with that.
We saw Philly. No guarantee. Remember Philly went to the Super Bowl, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna talk about this. And for Mahomes to be a 6-year starter, this is his 4th trip. This is his 4th trip in 5 years. So it ain't no guarantee, and you cherish it, you relish it because you don't know if and when you'll ever get back because there's no guarantee. Yeah. And sometimes fans make the mistake. Oh, we got there. Hey, we're gonna bring the team back. But hey, a lucky break here, an injury there, and it all falls apart. So it's tough for the Lions. I feel bad for them. I really do, Ocho, because seemingly this has been their best opportunity in a very long time. A very, very long time. Their offense is really, really good. Their defense is tough. They fly around. They make plays. They don't have the most outstanding back end. Their front 7 is really good. They can pressure you. They do a great job of stopping the run for the most part. But they do give up some big plays on the back end. They you can have your way with them. But man, Ocho up 17 on the road in a situation like this. Detroit was going. First of all, Michigan was going crazy because they just coming off winning the national championship in football. And so now Detroit, it just meant that, Ocho, you know how things just start to line up, and you say, "Oh man, it's an omen." We just won the championship in football and college football. We hadn't done that since '97, and then we had to share that. Now here's the Lions. We haven't won a playoff game since '91. We won 2 playoff games. We're in the NFC Championship game, and we up midway through the 3rd quarter, and it all falls apart.
They had to be in heaven. I know they were. I could imagine that feeling, where everything seemed to be going right in the city of Detroit. The season was phenomenal. Obviously, like you said, Michigan winning, and I think it's a good thing, even though they didn't get to the promised land, even though they're not going to Vegas to play for the Lombardi. The season that they did have, it's a lot to be proud about. Even with the decision making in today's game, it's still a lot to be proud about, and a lot to build on. And I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be back, especially in that NFC What's that? Not
NFC North.
South. NFC South is Tampa.
What about
NFC
Green
North.
Bay? What about Green Bay?
Hey,
they're in that division.
Green Bay look good. Oh yeah. I mean, hey, what happened? What happened when they played Green Bay this year? That's up for grabs.
When you get this close, Ocho, it's like window shopping. You look in there and you can see the Lombardi. You're like, damn, man. Oh, hey, you see that? Hey, Gil, hey, come over here, man. I'm on St. Brian. Hey, Riddle, come on, hey, Whit Jameson, come over here, man. Check this out. Man, look at here. Ooh, that thing's so pretty.
Right there in front of you.
Hey, you could reach out and touch it. Ocho, you go to the counter, when you go to the you go to a pastry shop and you get close, you ain't gonna, you gotta put your face on the glass. Ooh, which one is that right there? No, what's that flavor? What's that one called? What is that? Hey, what donut is that? I remember when I was a kid and my aunt took us to Dunkin' Donuts. First time I went to Dunkin' Donuts. And I saw all those, because normally, Ocho, you go country boy like myself, you get 2 donuts, either glazed or chocolate glazed. That's all you got. Glazed. You ain't have all them, you ain't have no bacon on top and no chocolate chip and no stuff filled and no bear claws and all this other stuff. So I go to Dunkin' Donuts and they got about 40 donuts, different donuts lined up.
Right.
Ooh, I got to get closer, Ocho. Let me get about. I got to get closer, Ocho.
Hold on. I got something for you. Hold on. I got something better.
That's how I was, man. Because I hadn't seen anything like that. Oh man.
I had some hot light was on.
They're gonna have to come with.
Hot light was on. Oh, my bad. I mean, we were talking about donuts. I got excited. I'm fat.
But I'm saying that's the thing, is that when you get to the AFC or the NFC Championship game, you're one step away. You're window shopping. And you missed and you have the opportunity. And in 91, we got to the AFC Championship game, lost to Buffalo 10-7. And it was 92, 93, 94. We got to the playoffs in 93, got to the playoffs again in 96. And it wasn't until 97, 98 that we were able to get over the hump as the Broncos. But you don't take those things for granted because you don't know. You just don't. And even though we had John coming back and John was still in his prime, that was John, I think that was probably John 9th year, 10th year, maybe 11th year in the league. So he was still fairly young. But, man, you just don't know. You just don't know if and when the opportunity will present itself, when it will knock, and then you seize the moment.